Disputed heavyweight champion versus the unified super middleweight champion. It doesn't get much bigger than this, and this looks an awful lot like the first fight. They are going at it immediately. I didn't even have time to tell people that Michaela Mayer has joined us in the commentary booth.
Oof, these women are going for it. Big overhand rights by both at the same time.
Michaela, you pointed this out earlier that we would probably see exchanges like that that look reminiscent of that first fight. Well, apologies for the technical difficulties with Michaela's microphone. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Crews-Dezurn applying pressure here in the early going. Michaela, I hate to make you do that all over again, but now you have a working microphone.
Did we fix it? Okay, there we go. But what I was saying, no, I knew because of the build-up and because of what went down at weigh-ins that, if anything, we were going to get a really exciting first round, and I hope it keeps up. I like that Franchon came right out to the center of the ring, pushed Claressa up against the ropes. Can't she do that for all 10 rounds?
Oh! Unloading right hands in both directions right now.
But if you pay attention, different than the first fight, Claressa is really picking her spots. She's much more precise than she was in that fight 10 years ago.
That big right hand from Claressa Shields coming right over the top. A second ago, you saw Franchon roll it out. That was an adjustment I wanted to see her make. She can't continue to take Claressa's right hand. She got to continue to roll, get on the angle, come back, or get her head off the line when she meets her with the same shot.
The issue in exchanges is the hand speed. Claressa Shields has much quicker hands.
Big left hook by Shields and a right hand behind it in what has been a firefight of an opening round.
Big four-punch combination from Claressa. Franchon's being aggressive, but she has to be careful not to get caught in between the exchanges with that left hook. Claressa's been very successful with that left hook right over the top, countering Franchon in the middle of her combinations.
Found a good left hook to the body as well. And Chris Mannix, you alluded to this in the opening round, but when Claressa can kind of reduce a fight to a series of timing races like this, she is very difficult to get the best of as she backs Crews-Dezurn up.
And Chris Mannix, you said it best, Claressa Shields is a very high punch count, and she's very fast. 4 girls at this weight class. A lot of the girls in this division can't keep up with that work rate. Franchon will throw 3, and Claressa Shields will come back with 5 or 6 punches.
Yeah, I said at the very top, I don't love the idea of Franchon coming in trying to exchange with Claressa Shields. That's exactly what the 4 rounds of the first fight looked like. Claressa's hand speed is just superior. Her punch output, like Michaela, you said, is going to be more significant. She's got to fight behind that jab. I don't mind her being physical, pressing Claressa against the ropes, but
well, there's that jab right there that you're talking about. It stops her. It stops Claressa Shields from coming in. And sometimes maybe it's too easy, so people get away from it. Because Claressa sometimes get away from that jab, but she loves that right hand so much. But Franchon's got to keep that jab in her face to stop her from landing that big one too.
No, she's got Buddy McGirt in the corner, and nobody talks about the jab more than Buddy McGirt.
The last 30 or 40 seconds is in microcosm what Franchon should be doing. She needs to bring it down to single shots back and forth, use her body to be physical, so Claressa cannot let those combinations go, because that hand speed is really on display here.
Yeah, straight down the middle. Claressa has looping shots a lot of the time, so the way you beat looping shots is you go right down in between them. That's how they're going to get there a lot faster. Franchon's got to keep that jab straight down the pipe and time that right hand right down the middle.
Oh, good overhand chopping right from Franchon Crews. And it came off.
Yeah, Franchon's got to try to avoid those kind of spurts. Those are the kind of things that can rack up points, change the punch stats, really put her behind the 8 ball. She's got to stick that jab and keep this fight on the outside.
And make it ugly on the inside. Yeah. She doesn't want to be in exchanges.
And I will say, Michaela, if we're looking for signs of hope for Franchon here, there's only a handful of opponents that Shields has had who have even been able to make adjustments at all. And we did see Crews-Dezurn make some of them in that second round.
Yeah, we are seeing her make adjustments, and we're seeing her keep up the work rate. You know, she's not necessarily matching the punch count that Claressa has, but she's doing better than a lot of Claressa's opponents, and she's still game, she's still coming forward. Usually I would say push Claressa Shields against the anyone. I would say push your opponent against the ropes. You know, it's not good when your back is on the ropes, and it looks good when you're the one pushing them against it. But Claressa does so well against the ropes. And Franchon tends to fall in and get countered. So I'd like to see her keep it in the center of the ring and just keep the combination simple.
All right, Chris Mannix, how is this looking to you so far? How do you have it scored?
I had it 1-1 to start the game. I gave Franchon Crews-Dezurn that last round on the basis of the final, maybe a minute or so. Sticking that jab, landing some decent right hands. 1-1 so far, but a good round I'm looking at here in the third by Claressa Shields.
Shields just getting that right hand free to land a chopping right hand there on the inside with a hard body shot in that sequence as well.
Good counter 1-2 from Franchon.
Yeah, gives ground and then lands a good counter as a result.
All of Franchon's success comes off the jab first. The lead jab is what's setting up the right hands that she lands.
Yep, start with the jab and finish with the jab.
Ooh. Yeah, when she lunges in with the overhand shot, Claressa sees it coming, and they get it tangled up.
These exchanges, Claressa Shields has shown some real heavyweight power. 2 fights earlier, she knocked down Daniel Perkins in the last round of that fight, so she's got some pop at these heavier weights.
Crews-Dezurn might have felt some of those shots, those machine gun combinations off the ropes, the same one.
She's a much better puncher at heavyweight.
I was just going to say that I think she really found her power moving up in weight. I think that last 30 seconds in that round, Franchon definitely felt some of those shots.
You're seeing Franchon's face starting to show the wear of those heavyweight punches.
This is the kind of pace I think that Claressa Shields can fight at for 10 rounds. I'm not convinced yet that Franchon Crews-Dezurn can.
If you pay attention to Claressa in between rounds, she's really focused on her breathing, getting her heart rate back down so she can go out and perform at this high level once again, each and every time. Oh, good right hand counter from the outside there by Shields.
Well, Chris, going back to your point about Shields' power at heavyweight, one thing she pointed out in fighter meetings as well, this is the first time she's had 2 healthy shoulders in several fights.
I mean, the way that she's letting these hooks go off both hands, I wouldn't be surprised.
Coffee box totals,
nice slip and rip.
rounds. Both women throwing bombs here. Shields already over 100 power punches thrown.
Yeah, Chris, to your point, the pace seems to be wearing much more on Crews-Dezurn than it is Shields.
Yeah, it seemed like in the first 2 rounds, she kind of unloaded her arsenal, and now just a little bit less of the output, whereas Claressa, that output's still there.
3-4 punch combination there from Shields. Back comes Dezurn with a short little right hand as well.
That right hand hook from Dezurn, that's exactly what she needs to continue to throw and meet Claressa Shields as she's coming in, catch her in between her shots. Claressa's getting confident with that right hand. We always see there's a point in one of Claressa Shields' fights, that the turning point, where she really starts to feel that right hand and she starts to go for it. That's when Franchon is going to be successful with continuing the jab right down the center. Jab, double jab, then finish with the right hand and hook.
And if you notice, Franchon Crews-Dezurn on that right knee area, looks like she's got some kinesio tape wrapping it. We knew she took a bit of a fall at the weigh-in on Saturday. Maybe some minor injury there that she's dealing with going into this fight.
Yeah, we were told that Crews-Dezurn visited a doctor this morning to look at her ankle and knee.
Oh, good
Nice
overhand right.
there from Shields. Back comes Crews-Dezurn.
They're both throwing their head off the line when they're throwing that right hand.
Oh, beautiful body shot there. That slip and rip that Claressa does. She slips outside the right hand and takes that left hook to the liver. Thing of beauty. Kayla, to your point, they're both technically sound. Very, very sharp. Great hand position. Getting their head off line, like you said. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Shields.
Tail of the body language, Crews-Dezurn really has changed over the last round and a half.
Yeah, Franchon has a tendency when she gets in, she kind of smothers her punches and ties up instead of dropping her knees and digging down to the body. She would have a lot more success if she let her combinations go to the head and then started to roll and dig to the body, but instead she's there for Claressa's counter. And it's hard to get away with it when Franchon throws 3 punches and Claressa Shields comes back with 8 or 9.
And if indeed Crews-Dezurn is working with a draining battery here, Mannix, these body shots that Shields is focusing on here in the 5th, they're not helping that.
Yeah, I love that little slip left hook to the body. She's done that 3 times in this round.
Big right hands coming from Claressa. That was the 3rd one in a row. That one landed between us.
And another one right over the top as the seconds tick away here in the 5th. The momentum swinging heavily in favor of the Guo. Deep breath from Claressa Shields as we're back to action here in the 6th round. You can hear the drums in between rounds, and guys, this really is a special atmosphere here too. And there's something to be said about that Shields home field advantage in Detroit. It sounds different. There's a vibe here in this arena that is different from most fighters in boxing today as Shields piling up the jabs. Chris Mannix, how do you have the score so far? Yeah,
I've got Claressa Shields firmly in control now, 49-46. Thought the first 2 rounds were competitive. A lot of back and forth in those first 2 rounds. Both fighters winging punches, but the gas tank of Claressa Shields is just far superior right now. She seems fresh. Her combinations are sharp, and it just feels like there's a different look on the face of Franchon Crews-Dezurn over these last 2 rounds. So 49-46 on my scorecard.
The more that Franchon has gotten away from the jab, the more we're seeing Claressa Shields walking her down, coming in the front door, and unloading with combinations off great balance.
And a good jab. I expect her to come out this round, Claressa Shields, and start loading up out that right hand because I know she's getting confident with it. But she started him off really good jab, staying behind the jab.
That was
again,
technical.
another great jab.
Saw the CompuBox totals a moment ago. Another big right hand there from Shields. Shields at that point outlanded Crews-Dezurn 112-62, and those numbers are climbing right now as Shields is putting it all together here in the 6th.
Gotta think that the referee and the corner is looking very closely at Crews-Dezurn here. She's getting hit with a lot of leather.
A lot of it is the foot balance too. You see Claressa, she's able to throw 5, 6, 7, 8 punches because her feet stay underneath her.
She never breaks position.
She doesn't, and more so than I've ever seen her actually. Her feet are really impressive in this fight. Franchon tends to throw a few punches but then fall in with it, and she can't counter or come back.
Round 7 underway of this undisputed heavyweight world title fight. The champion, Claressa Shields, taking on the unified super middleweight champion, Franchon Crews-Dezurn.
Crews-Dezurn is game as they come. Keeps coming out, trying to establish that jab once again.
Yeah, to that point, I think Crews-Dezurn has gotten a reputation of being a sloppy fighter, but I think that this fight shows she's made a lot of adjustments on that end. She's landing cleaner shots, a lot more technically sound. I don't see her falling in as much as she used to. But one thing I really would like, what I think would help her nullify Claressa Shields' attacks is turning. You know, you don't want to stand right in front of someone like Claressa Shields because she'll unleash for 8 or 9, 10 punches. So Franchon Crews-Dezurn should be turning, should be staying on an angle, punching, rolling out, not standing right in front of her to be hit.
Well, and Michaela, we talked about this before, the familiarity between these two, right? And you pointed out, Franchon every once in a while could do something to break Claressa's momentum, but the question is, does she have the energy left to do that consistently down the stretch?
Yeah, I said this is going to be had to be a very disciplined fight for Franchon Crews to win. You know, she has to stay disciplined for the entire 10 rounds and stick to the game plan.
Between the pace and the body work by Shields, you just see the energy level of Crews-Dezurn going down and down each round. Good body shot again. Really tricky shot there, that left hook to the liver. Nice shot there by Franchon, lands a left hook upstairs.
Heavy hitting diva still sneaking a shot in.
That's what I mean by being game. She's still punching with Claressa even though she can't keep up with the hand speed.
Well, not that they needed any encouragement here, but Claressa Shields firing the crowd up even more as round 8 begins. Chris Mannix, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, 69-64. Pretty easy fight to score over these last 5 rounds. Just too much activity, too much accuracy from Claressa Shields. I think Franchon's trying out there. She's still landing some decent shots in between these punches, but we're looking at like a 4-5 to 1 accuracy gap right now for Claressa Shields. 69-64 on my part.
And Michaela Shields starting to really double up on that left hook as well, go from body to head.
I was just going to say, we know she has a big right hand, and usually when you're coming up with a game plan for a fighter, you see where are they the strongest, and you move away from that power shot. But Claressa is throwing power shots from both hands right now. She's flipping, throwing body to head of her left hook, and then she's letting that big right hand over the top. And it's confusing Franchon on which way to go. But standing right in front isn't any better. You got to pick a side, stay on the angles, and keep turning.
To your point, Michaela, this is the most complete version of Claressa Shields that I've ever seen when it comes to the jab, the left hand, the right hands, and the positioning. The positioning game that she's playing has been excellent tonight.
Sitting down the punches, you can see the influence of a John David Jackson on Claressa Shields. John David Jackson preaches power punches. We had a fighter like Sergey Kovalev. It's taken some time, but Claresa's really developing some real pop in her shots.
And Claressa just switched to a lefty stance to throw that overhand left.
Super bad-esque.
If I caught it right.
Body shot again there from Shields. Shoe shine to the body, climbs the ladder up top.
Whenever she hears that 10-second marker, she fires a combination.
Big right hand over the top. Two to go here in our main event. Back on the jab, the opening seconds of the round, and you know, Michaela, realistically, we're probably at a point for Crews-Dezurn where she needs either a parade of knockdowns or a knockout. Do you see anything that maybe she could be doing to create an opening for something like that?
Well, yeah, at this point, whether you either got to get a knockout or you probably won't win the fight, but you still have to adjust. And right now, standing in front of Claressa Shields isn't the way to go. I think Franchon had a little bit of success in the first round or two when she was pushing Claressa Shields back. You know, Claressa Shields best if she can come forward and time you. Push her back, make it rough. Either that or get on your toes and box and move. But I just don't think standing in front of her, you're not gonna match her that way.
Great shoulder movement, upper body rhythm shown by Shields. Consistently slipping and ripping and firing off these shots, getting back to that jab. When she's on that jab, she's really difficult to deal with.
Well, and Chris, we're seeing a pattern here too. Even as Crews-Dezurn is trying to apply pressure coming behind her jab, Shields is able to throw second and third. So she can counter and then come right back and back Crews-Dezurn up.
It's her base. She doesn't break position when she's being defensive in front of you.
Yeah, and Franchon jab can't be a lazy jab. It can't be a soft jab because you'll see Claressa Shields come right over the top like she did with Danielle Perkins for that knockdown, the big overhand right. It's got to be a stiff, hard jab to stop her in her tracks.
Good attempt to the body there for Franchon. Crews-Dezurn with the left hand.
10 seconds of the round. This body work from Shields continues.
Shields slipping and ripping, offense and defense together.
2 minutes.
Texture Mosley into the center of the ring, round 10.
10th and final round, 10 years later. And Claressa Shields, much like she did in 2016, dominant here tonight against Franchon Crews-Dezurn. Chris Mannix, I have an idea of how you have it scored. How do you have it scored?
Yeah, 89-82 for Claressa Shields. Just been a complete paint job over these last 6 rounds. Dominant. Claressa's accuracy has been on point. Franchon just has not been able to find an answer for that hand speed and that activity. 89-82, going to take something special in this last minute for Franchon Crews-Dezurn to win this fight.
She's had a good opening minute in this last round, has Franchon. Give it a back, Shields against the rope, use her upper body, physically pin her down, and let body shots rip on both sides.
Yeah, she started the fight off like this in the first round. I think that's probably what she should have kept up throughout the mid-rounds, but then again, because she leans in, because she put her weight forward, she really can't get the leverage on the shot.
Yeah, she's not generating a lot of power there on the inside like that.
Good counter left hook. Sweeping left hook there from Shields. Right back down to the body. Shields saying, come on, let's go for it in the closing 40 seconds.
Oh.
Big right hand over the top from Shields. Just clubbing away on Crews-Dezurn.
Franchon's as tough as they come.
Yeah, you know Claressa Shields gonna look for that big right hand. I know she wanted to finish this night with a knockout.
Ooh.
But Crews-Dezurn is definitely one of the toughest girls.
Their stories are forever intertwined.